Welcome to Money Matters Monday. Right here on Speaking from the Purple Couch, every single Monday, we are talking all things money. Growing your wealth, leveling up your finances, and building the future you deserve. This is your time, so let's get into it.
Hello, and what are we talking about today? You guessed it. We are talking So I hope you are ready for Monday Money Matters. I'm ready to get started, and I think you are ready to receive because there's a lot going on in these streets, in these money streets. It's a lot that we need to learn, a lot that we need to share. And just remember, I am not a financial advisor. I am just a CEO of a nonprofit that believes in educating, elevating, and empowering people. And as I learn, I want you also to learn. So again, we're talking about the minimum payments are a trap that keep debt growing. And we're not trying to go there, not trying to do that. So the thing that we really need to talk about is what can we do then? What can we do to make a difference in our debt? So I want to know, have you ever felt like no matter how much you pay towards your debt, the balance barely moves? Been there, done that. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do, but nothing is really changing. You know, if this sounds familiar, there's a reason for that. Again, I want to welcome you to Money Matters Monday, where we make money make sense. I want to repeat that I am not a financial advisor, but I am a CEO of a nonprofit focused on educating, elevating, and what? Empowering. And today we're talking about something that looks helpful, but it's actually holding people back. Those minimum payments. Oh, mercy me. So let's define this simply. A minimum payment is the smallest amount a lender allows you to pay each month to keep your account in good standing. So when you see that number, it feels manageable. It feels like, okay, I can handle that. But here's what most people don't realize. That number is not designated or designed to help you get out of debt quickly. It's designed to keep the active, for what I want to say, to keep the account active. So that, you know, you can use and charge up more. But no, we're not trying to go there. So how does interest works? Let's talk about that. And let's talk about what's happening behind the scenes. Now, when you carry a balance on a credit card, interest is added, okay? And interest is simply the cost of borrowing money. So every month, you don't pay the full balance, you're being charged extra. Now, here's the key part. When you make a minimum payment, most of that payment goes towards interest first and not the balance. Or they say it goes towards interest and not the principal, okay? Which is the balance. So even though you're paying, your actual debt is barely going anywhere, okay? Let's look at this. So the cost of minimum payments on a credit card. So you have $1,000 purchased on a credit card. You have 21% interest rate applied. You do the minimum payment of $30 for the first month. And then if you continue with that $30, that minimum payment, it equals 65 months to actually pay off that $1,000. And over that time, based on the interest, you've paid about $650 in interest. So they done made some money off of you, okay? But that's not what you want to continue to happen. Because what happens? It becomes a trap, okay? So let's connect the dots. You're making payments, but interest keeps being added. So your balance, it goes slowly. Say slowly up the ladder. It goes slowly, but keeps growing at the same time. That creates this cycle. And that's why people feel stuck, not because they're not paying, but because they're not paying in a way that reduces the balance effectively. So what do we want to do? We really want to pay more, because this is the cycle that we're in. We're short of cash, we use the credit, the balance grows, the higher payments, but we have the same income. And again, we pay the bills, and then we repeat this whole debt cycle. But the balance grows, and it's really taken forever to actually be wiped out, because the minimum payments is what? It's a trap. So even if it's just a little more, that extra amount goes towards your balance. And that's what actually reduces your debt. So we want to focus on one balance at a time, okay? Instead of spreading yourself thin, pick one debt and focus on it, okay? So this will build progress and momentum. And we got to be consistent. And, that is my thing. Consistent starts with the C, and so does my name. So I really need to get on board with consistency. I've probably pretty much got it down with my debt, because that's why I'm sharing, because I've been doing some things behind the scene to kind of pull myself out of debt and understanding the minimum payment trap. So we have to be consistent. And this is where change absolutely happens. Not one big payment, but consistent extra effort. Okay? So here's the shift I want you to take away. You're not trying to manage debt, you're trying to eliminate it. And minimum payments only manages it. Look at one of your balances, and the next time you make a payment, add something extra, even if it's small, $5, $10, because small extra payments create real progress. If you're ready to break the cycle, comment, I'm paying more than the minimum, and I am ready to break the cycle. And these are 4 strategies for faster debt repayment. If you're struggling with debt, consider one or more of the following strategies to help pay down the principal faster and save on your interest payments over time. Because remember, I said those minimum payments, the majority goes to the interest and not the principal. And the principal is really the balance. So the balance is not really shrinking. It's not shrinking. It's moving slowly. So make multiple payments when possible. Pay more than your minimum balance or your minimum payment. Use the debt snowball or avalanche method. And that's when you take the smallest debt and pay that off. Then when you pay that off, whatever you was paying on that smaller debt, you add it to the payment of the next debt. So it's like a snowball effect, and you're eventually, eliminating the debt. And consider debt consolidation if your debts are too high. But I also want you to think about this. To break this cycle of perpetual debt, yes, you can try more income earned. You can lower expenses. Pay your debt wisely. Like we said, add a little bit more to your minimum payments. And just do necessity-only spending. And make sure you have an emergency fund saved. So these are some of the things that can help you break this cycle. And I just want you to remember that I am not a financial advisor, but I am a CEO of a nonprofit focused on educating, elevating, and empowering. And I want you to win with money. So I'm asking you to make sure that you take some of these suggestions to get out of debt or start knocking those high debt balances out. Just destroy them. Okay. So I hope again that this was very helpful to you. And I just want you to remember that we're here for you. If you need an accountability partner, then we can be that. You can come back here, make your what I want to say, make your self known in the comments and say, you know, can I come back here and talk about what it is that I want to accomplish, and we can be here for you. Okay. And now come back next Monday for episode 4, where we talk about the subscription trap. And honey, did I fall into that trap? Hook, line, and sinker. But I am here to tell you, I have been saved, honey, and pulled from the jaws of that trap. Be blessed.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.